boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
No intro today, and you could pretty much tell why based on what I posted on my other social media platforms, including the community tab here on YouTube. Basically, it was my sister's Bobby Jr. 35th birthday, and basically, I was looking forward to this race, and, I was expecting a lot of excitement with the new package that NASCAR introduced with the Gen 7 for this track, and boy, was it a fucking letdown. That is a couple hours of my life I am never getting back. Just like last year, but once again, Tyler Reddick was the man that, 40-some other drivers were chasing. Well, no, 30-some, but I digress. My mind's still stuck in the 43-car field era. But this man went through hell or high water from sitting on the pole while slapping the wall in qualifying, but with still earning it. Basically, had a battery and voltage issue. I don't know what the fuck happened, but somehow he didn't let that get in his way. I mean, this man came to play this year, winning the first four out of the first 6 races. I know somewhere up there, the late Adam Petty is smiling down from heaven, but I gotta ask, when his father Kyle drove the car after he was killed in New Hampshire in 2000, why couldn't he do that for me when he was my favorite driver as a kid in the Lenore house in Michigan? But I digress. My boy, my number one driver in that 3-car, Austin, qualified well. I mean, ran in the top 15, qualified in the top 10. At one point, was in the top 5, but basically sank like a rock and had to settle for a 26th place finish after a good start to the weekend for the Childress camp. But there was one of a few close calls we had today. First, Ryan Preece got loose off turn 2. I mean, it was a beautiful sight to see fake Ward Burton do bad. I mean, probably the most beautiful sight in all of NASCAR. Basically, the best part of the day, by far. Ward Burton would never, and when it was a Bill Davis, Dodge Intrepid. May Bill Davis rest in peace. Considering Logano may have had the better career than Ward, but Ward was the better man and human being. And guess what? It's not even close. Then Reddick had the slow ass pit stop right here, which after he overcame the battery issue, I thought his race was over right here because the pit crew somehow fumbled the bag. But, as great drivers do, especially if they won a championship in the lower division series while working their way up through the ranks before coming up to the big boys known as the Winston Cup, even though it was during the COVID year. And even if he had to replace one of my favorite drivers, Hemrick in the 8 at RCR before Kyle Busch was there, Reddick would not be denied. Ryan Blaney's pit crew fumbled the bag again. No wonder why his pit crew was ranked 33rd on the all-time pit crew rankings, even though he's basically Penske's 5th best driver, literally carrying them on his back. Luckily, his teammates' pit crew bailed him out, but as per the rule, you're allowed to do that, but it's considered pitting outside your box, so it's tail end Charlie for you. Bubba's pit crew showed flashes of 2022, fucking up the stop. I mean, and adding insult to injury, as they went from bad to worse, his own boss, in Brett Bodine's old number, took his ass out and sent that Jones boy spinning, in John Andretti's old ride, but at least that Jones boy not only bounced back for a top 10 because, he's good at Darlington, but he finished, the guy in John Andretti's old ride, rest in peace, finished ahead of the imposter and Brett Bodine's number, but I hate any less now because of my friendship with this lady, Jordan Fish, who I've been friends with since 2017-18. But anyway, the dominant car of the day, you may look like Reddick had the car to beat, but the real car to beat, if anything, if Reddick wasn't up front, I think he led the most laps, and Mark Martin's old number, Brad Keselowski, led the most laps. Oh, wait, this is the end of stage 2. What the hell? Wait a minute. Yeah, basically, Buescher gave him a run for his money. I mean, I don't know if I put the end of stage 1 in the video. Basically, Keselowski swept the stages. Basically, won stage 1 with ease, won stage 2 after fending off, a challenge from, his teammate, the car he owns, Chris Buescher, and Matt Kenseth's old number, and the Greg Booty Biffle throwback. And right here, when I was broadcasting on TikTok, my audio cut off in the video, which is why I had to edit out because my girlfriend Julia was calling me. So, therefore, and my dad's driver got a top 10 in the second stage. This was the other close call of the day. And right here was one of the only, legit incidents. And, man, as a Herbs fan, this blew big time. Blew diarrhea ass out of a cannon. He was running in 17th position when Connor Zillage took him out. I mean, I'm not blaming Zillage for it. It's just a typical rub into racing deal. Shit happens. Although Riley doesn't feel that way. So Mark, you tell your boy Riley how your opinion. Basically choosing common sense or personal feelings, and then Reddick's cooling unit or what the fuck they call those things? That shit fucking quit too. It's like that was blowing hot air, and basically this guy went through hell or high water, like I said like 2 or 3 times in this video. But like I said the first time, he would not be denied, as this didn't stop him from, turning into the powerhouse monster that the GOAT in basketball of the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan, created. Is like, man, oh man, this guy is on a mission. And here's where Bush, the only other semi-major incident of the day, happened. It was a late call on Busher's part to get to the pits, and Reddick had nowhere to go, but luckily Busher owned up to it, and Busher still got a top 10, but it did enough damage to his car, despite it being cosmetic, that it took away his speed, his rocket ship speed, and took him out of contention for the win. I mean, Reddick, on the other hand, he's on his way to a breakout season. I mean, I'm no Reddick hater by any means, and I never once was, even if he replaced my boy Hemrick in the RCR number 8 in the COVID year 2020. But so therefore, I'm going to give him credit where credit's due. I'm actually liking this. Reddick is a likable guy. I mean, younger me kind of hated this with Jimmy Johnson, considering, the Jimmy hate was easily influenced by a lot of younger, very longtime fans when they were like teenagers in high school, like me, 16, 17, 18 years old. But 32-year-old me is not fazed by the Tyler Reddick dominance, considering it's probably the beginning of the season. Even if it was the end of the season, I wouldn't even hate Reddick, because I was never a Reddick hater. I mean, sure, the race was a stinker, but the only bright spot was at least we didn't have to worry about dirty air and people could pass. I mean, look at Hocevar. Sure, kind of like what Ty Gibbs in 2022, considering Ty Gibbs has kind of been quiet now and has calmed down since that his 2022 rambunctiousness of reckless abandonment. I'm basically the same way with Hocevar now, but not as to the same degree as Gibbs in 2022. I'm just not crazy about him. My grandmother, rest in peace, my mom's mom, was the same way about Montoya, even though I liked him. I mean, I bet you if we had a late race restart, oh yeah, here's what I thought was going to hear, where I thought we were going to get it. Briscoe and my boy Riley got together and smacked the wall, and Larson was off the pace, out of control, basically on the verge of spinning out. I was like, please no yellow. This is a stinker. Get me the fuck out of here. But then when Reddick took the white flag, I was like, okay, they can wreck now. I don't care. But they didn't. They kept it green. And basically, I bet you if it was 10 more laps, then I bet you Hocevar ran the 45 down and won his race. And whether the legit Hocevar haters like it or not, he eventually is going to win. And if there's anything I learned from being the number one Larson hater in the Ganassi 42 over being salty about him taking the car from Montoya back then before Reddick took the 8 from Hemrick, it's only a matter of time before Hocevar wins, after coming close so many times. So his day is coming. It's only a matter of time, whether the Hocevar haters like it or not. And it taught 22-year-old me a lesson about, Larson, his win first win eventually coming, even though 22-year-old me didn't want to see it, but it did. So congratulations to Tyler Reddick on continuing his breakout season, on running the Carolina Dodge Dealers 400 at Darlington Raceway. Happiest of birthdays to my sister, Ashley Oliveris Meyer. Safe travels to Ann, Caden, and Dave on their future endeavors in a new house, a new neighborhood. Have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Good night. The Virginia 500 at Martinsville Speedway is next, so hopefully this will turn out to be a hell of a lot better than the Snoozefest we saw today in the Carolina Dodge Dealers 400. But with how much the Gen 7 has destroyed Martinsville, along with short tracks in general, I am not holding my breath. But until then, we got a Spurs game to watch early in the evening tomorrow at 7 p.m. at the American Airlines Center against the Heat in Miami. So be on the lookout for that Spurs game review on my YouTube channel hours before midnight. And we're going before that, we're gonna go to work, head to Walmart, and stack them up like Kenny Wallace on our Coca-Cola while we knock out the last 2 16-ounce Cokes that we have left for tomorrow night's Spurs game versus the Heat. So therefore, I'm looking forward to seeing Wemby versus Adebayo. It's gonna be pure cinema. I'll probably watch it on the computer with Jacob and Sean, so I don't have to fight the stupid Fire Stick again. But most important of all, I do not have to watch it on Peacock if I do it that way. And that's, I think, what I'm going to do. I will see you guys tomorrow night for that video. So see you later, everyone.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.